because of time constraint, I may skip some slides or I may be giving some more information. See, if we will talk about the maritime trade, you know that all along the coast, starting from Harappan period to the present period, there were more than 200 ports. Some were declining, so another port was coming up. Coming back to the east coast, you cannot study the maritime archaeology of area isolated. So when you are talking about ports or maritime trade of Odisha or Kalinga, you have to study the ports of West Bengal, Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu. And you know that what was happening in ancient times, they were not going straightly from Odisha to Southeast Asia because the ships were small, their main objective was to get profit and business. So that's what they were doing, the coastal hugging. That's what in the later period, I mean in the early centuries of historical period, Phayain and Huangshan, particularly Phayain, has mentioned clearly, starting from Tamralipti to go to Andaman and Nicobar, it was taking 14 days. Another aspect, when the mariners of west coast of India had the contacts with Southeast Asia, you know that they were coming all along the ghats, crossing on the banks of Godavari and Krishna. That's what we are having number of Buddhist sites, starting from Nanaghat and Kanheri and Bhaja and Karle. They were bringing to east coast of India, they were exchanging the cargo. And another aspect, another aspect is that we are talking that why we do not have much information of early historical period evidences in Southeast Asia. It goes like that. Suppose I was working at Goa for 35 years. Initially, I started my establishment. So I was taking help of others. Slowly, when I settled down and everything was, then I looked for a house. So, since the Tamil Nadu coast particularly, the people of Odisha were going all along the east coast to Southeast Asia, crossing the Tamil Nadu and Sri Lanka, some parts. So, we are having some more early historical evidence in Southeast Asia which belong to Tamil Nadu. But in later period, if we will see any epigraphical evidences, okay, these are the ports of our northern Odisha, Calcutta Patna. Some of our colleagues, when they talk about maritime trade, they talk that Calcutta Patna was an ancient port. Friends, Calcutta Patna is having only one cultural remains, that is 12th, 13th century AD, and it is on the bank of Kusabhadra, and the port was neither mentioned in any literature, not mentioned any inscriptions. Okay. This port was belonged to our Cholo, this Narasimha Deva probably, because we are having the evidences which are connecting that Patharabua Nadi and all those things. Some of the rivers have those stones still, and if you will see the findings which are going to Chinese coins as well as this pottery, here we have found one pottery is very unique, particularly for Odisha, is called mercury jars, which was coming from Southeast Asia. And yesterday what our my friend Kaushik showed, that the Martaban jar, it was also started from Burma. Then slowly it was carrying cargoes, because there the loop handles, what are there they were putting the stoppers, and how they were stagging in the amphoras in the ship, those were stagged. And in our country, if anybody has visited to Salarjung Museum, they are having two very big Martaban jars. And Martaban jars, when it was coming to Thailand and the other places, they also imitated. So instead of now calling to it a Martaban jar, they are calling it a stone bear, because those are fired more than 1250 degrees of centigrade. And in coming back to the maritime activities of Odisha, you know that Chilika has played a major role, and on the bank of Chilika we can see Manikapatna and other ports, Gaurangapatna, Palur and other things. But if we will read the findings of Manikapatna, which comes from early historical period to up to 17th and 18th century, the 17th, 18th century evidence is the stone anchor, which has come from Gujarat. We have analyzed it. Scientifically, we have analyzed it. So I suggest my friends, those who are involved in these maritime archaeological studies, besides your chronological study and other things, you should also give importance or trust to analyze the artifacts. Unless until if you have not analyzed that stone anchor, then we would not have come to the conclusion whether it was come from Arab or from Gujarat. This is the Gaurangapatna, and you can see that it on the two sides, the Chilika you can see, and Professor Basa and Deccan College people, they had excavated close to the temple area. Myself, my colleagues and Anam Behra. I will tell you, nowadays, because we started this theory earlier, Professor K.C. Paningray, Professor K.S. Behra and number of scholars has earlier worked. After that, when I started from NIO, my colleague Sunil Patnaik started from Bhubaneswar, and other colleagues, they also worked on it. So now I will see that Sunil Patnaik has been taking extensive survey. Similarly, Anam Behra of Utkal University and some of his students. Friends, whatever we are informing nowadays about the maritime trade, because of Sunil Patnaik and Anam Behra. Sunil Patnaik has shown this map, and this is the Kankia Khuda. Probably it is one of the port site of Soiladwaja dynasty. Okay, you see the excavation site by Deccan College, and during our survey we had found those terracotta beads. And this is the Raghunathapur temple, going back to 1994 or something, when I had come for the exploration. I saw this is more than 2 meters at that, and if you will see at one corner of this lighthouse, you can see the Chilika as well as the Bay of Bengal. So it was been considered that it could have served as a lighthouse, and in later period, after these things, the mariners, those who were traveling to distant places, during during daytime, they go little bit far away from the shoreline. So for instance, Puri Jagannath temple, they considered as the landmark as known as a white pagoda, and Konark temple is a black pagoda. And if you will go down south, in we are having on the Chilika bank this, in Andhra Pradesh, before Visakhapatnam, Bhabikonda and Totalkonda, though Puri and Konark are of later period, sometimes the mariners take the landmark of the big trees, particularly coconut trees. Because I have experience, me with my colleagues, when we were working in Mahabalipuram and Pumpuar, we used to go to 7 to 10 kilometers away. And then we asked the people, local boatmen people, how can you will go now? Okay. He told, sir, give me 5 minutes, then he will watch. He will say, see, there is a coconut tree, that is our landmark. And another experience I will tell you, in Goa we were working half a kilometer to kilometer distance from the coast, and all of a sudden there was a rain in the month of December, that boat was having nothing. Okay. His idea was very close, so we will come back. Instead of coming to half a kilometer, we sailed up to 10 kilometers. Because of the rain, we were not able to see anything, and the boatman told us, leave to the God, we will reach somewhere. So without any knowledge, either in the daytime or monsoon time, if unless until you know the landmarks or experienced people, you cannot sail. And this maritime trade is also hereditary from father to son. Because if you will see the boat building technology of Tamil Nadu, even today, they are having that tradition. And even in Odisha, if you will see our Chilika area, those who are constructing local boats, okay, they are having their father to son tradition, and those are the carpenters, they make it. Myself and Uma Misra, we had gone to Bhadrak and area, there are one, because of time I am telling something more practical things instead of my slides. See, this is one pottery called NBP, Northern Black Polished Bear, 6th century BC, datable to Buddhist period. This is the first, the underlying, this is the evidence when our India's contact with Southeast Asia. This pottery have been reported from 415 sites in India, and this pottery after Indian coast, you see in the west coast is also there. After India, this is only found in Sri Lanka, that is Anuradhapura. So it shows that we do not have any evidences of maritime trade contact of India, particularly east coast or west coast, beyond Sri Lanka before 6th century BC or 3rd century BC. These are the pottery pieces. Coming back to another pottery called rulerted bear. This is 1st, 2nd century BC AD. This pottery not only found in Indian coast, less in west coast, more on the east coast, and those are the ports and beds. Wherever this pottery has been reported, those are the either port sites or Buddhist sites. Okay. If you will see, this pottery in rulerted bear has been found both in the Red Sea coast, Oman, as well as the Southeast Asia. So from archaeologically, we can consider that our contacts with Southeast Asia started in 2nd century, 3rd century BCE, or little later or little before. These are the pottery from different parts, and these are the two sites, your Kamkhau and Bantanpet, and this is the Sambiran. See, these are related pottery, and people say that we can analyze. Friends, if you those who are working on XRD analysis, because Ardika, the scholar from Sumay, this Sambiran, he found rulerted bear having graffiti marks, and he analyzed it. And in Sambiran, they found one human teeth. They did some analysis, and in the early publications in the Journal of Antiquity, they told it could be a man from east coast of India, broadly from either southern Odisha or Andhra Pradesh. Subsequently, when they did study more on it, came to know that it was not correct. Similarly, he analyzed XRD, this pottery, and Gotke of Deccan College, Professor Gotke of Deccan College, they did some analysis of this related bear, all those things. They have come to the conclusion that Gotke has come to the conclusion that these are from the Chandraketugarh, and Sambiran findings are from Andhra Pradesh. Friends, it is not that the pottery was making, suppose we are buying a steel glass or any metal glass, anything, it is not only made or manufactured in Uttar Pradesh. People of our area also, they make it. So this pottery depends upon the clay type. If your clay is suitable to make a pottery, and if you know the designs, it can be made. So, but one interesting aspect is, if you will take a related pottery, and if you will make hold in your hand, if you know, you can easily identify whether it is related bear or not. And there is another pottery. This shows our Odisha's contact with Southeast Asia. This knobbed pottery. This pottery, for the first time, found in Sisfalgarh by Professor B.B. Lal, subsequently at Jaugarh, in Ganjam district, Jaugarh inscription by Madam Devala Mitra. Then this has been reported from many sides. During our exploration in Kalinga Patna, when I came there, I found huge number of these knobbed pottery. Okay. Then I thought I should explore these sites wherever it was reported. And in 2020 or 21, during exploration, I found this pottery not only at Sisfalgarh and Jaugarh, and it has been also reported from various sites, and more than 50 sites. This pottery has been reported. This is of early historical period. Now recently, Uma Misra and this our Sunil Patnaik and Annam Behra and the students, they found some more sites. So probably I call this pottery as a Kalingan bear because first time found in Sispargarh, and the number of pottery sites what we found in Orissa is much, much more than other parts of India, and this has been commonly found in Orissa and associated with Buddhism. See, this is from Bahari by Kaushik, and these are from Tamil Nadu, Arikamedu, and this pottery has been found different places. You cannot see one pottery here, that black one, if you see that there is a paper leaf design. And another one, see this pottery has a knob in the center and circles. And this is the only pottery where you will find made of gold, silver, bronze or copper, stone and clay. None of other potteries you will find made of different, material. And in our Hindu tradition, we use these wooden made things during our ghara, what is that called, pratishta or marriage time or yajna. So when I was inquiring with the scholars, particularly the Brahmins, they were telling that this is there since in the Rig Veda reference. Now we have to study whether this is, Buddhists have taken this, this knowledge from Hindus, or this was contemporary prevailing all over this this part of India. This is that mercury jar. Those two are from Calcutta, Patna, and these are the mercury jar pieces from different places. Generally, we ask the question, what are the items were exported and imported? Okay. These are the items were going from Orissa and other places, and we were getting these things, imported these things. You know that we call Malaysia as a Bangladesh or something. What was happening? The mariners of east coast of India is going to in the month of October and November, and they were returning in the month of May and June. The mariners of Red Sea coast, particularly Roman mariners, they were coming to Arikamedu and Pattanam during summer monsoon, May and June. They were staying there, okay, at Arikamedu and Pattanam. What they were doing? They were maintaining their ships. Why they were maintaining their ships? The Roman ships were made of pine and oak. Indian ships were made of teak wood. Teak wood is one of the noble material for shipbuilding. Okay, and I can tell you there is one ship built in 1780 or 1800 something that is called Trincomalee. Still that ship is there in Southampton Harbour. They have made it a museum. Okay, and some of our publications mentions why teak was so much familiar and why teak was so much demand. In Portuguese, during Portuguese rule in India, they made what is that called restrictions to Indian people. You cannot cut, you cannot sell, you cannot take teak without our permission. So from here we can understand the quality and the requirement and demand of Indian teak. And these are the type of ships. Okay, we have from Orissa this one. Okay, this Brahmeswar temple carrying elephants, but no doubt from Satavahana period, Pallavas, okay, and later period there are boat motive coins, and that is the Roman boat from Alagankulam, and we were very much familiar with our these called Masula boats. And these all the boats, some are from Sri Lanka and some are from the Red Sea coast and Southeast Asia. And friends, see in our Orissa, there are 3 to 4 type of boats were prevailing. From Chilika to down south, they use that Masula boat or your catamaran. And from Chilika, they use that danga inside Chilika. And after this, they use this Patia boat. Okay, this Patia boat has been reflected, or this one is, the top one is from Konark and the down one is from Puri Jagannath. And Patia boat was also, they've used in Bangladesh and West Bengal. But none of us know what is the origin of this boat, how the technology has come. Everyone is talking and this Patia boat, and there are 2 type of boats. One is reverse clinker, another is clinker type. And these are the Patia boats under construction in Baleswar coast. And these are the traditional boats of Orissa, which were used both for navigation and maritime trade and inland waters and Chilika Lake. And now the question comes, the road. One thing is there, see there were 3 routes, but the first one which is coming from Tamralipti to Tamil Nadu, then to Southeast Asia, because why that was prevalent, in the down there is a map, one 9th century shipwreck has been explored in Belitung, okay, in Java waters. When they studied, they come to the conclusion that they were coming from Southeast Asia, particularly Indonesia, to up to Tamil Nadu, and from there they were going to Sri Lanka and Persian Gulf countries. And so that has been confirmed now, they were following this distance route. And this is the monsoon. And who were the mariners? No doubt Buddhist and Hindu people were the mariners. We are having lot of evidences. Here you see, this is Professor K.S. Vera. During his studies, he has made the findings. This is from Ratnagiri and this is from Borobudur. This is from, Malaysia. You see, we are having lot of evidences. As I told you that once the people are settled, they start their, spreading the culture, they spreading their food habits and everything. This is from Thailand. And this is from Vietnam. Now another aspect is, morning we were discussing what are the causes of declining of the ports. As a students of history and archaeology, we think that your taxation, bribe, warfare, enmity and everything. But we are forgetting the formation of sandbar, siltation, erosion, shoreline changes and cyclones. We have published a paper in Current Science 2011. There if you will see that there were a number of cyclones during those days, it has affected the Orissa coast. Not only they have destroyed the humans and their remains, even they had flown away some of the what is that called, capital stones of the Konark temple.
Dr. Tripathi, sir.
These are the nature's impact, okay? How the natural factors are affecting for eroding the coastal sites as well the coastal ports. And this is the example of Khalkata. You can see this number 21, because of the coastal erosion, particularly the erosion of the river, the whole site has gone into the sea. Very little remains are there. And thank you and namaskar.